This is a factory in England where just 37 black currants are needed to make one bottle of drink. The twisting blade pushes the fruit in, and the steel rollers crush it. The pectin in the black currant pulp causes thickening, but the enzyme breaks it down to prevent thickening. The fermentation process takes place in a 22-ton liquefaction tank, where the black currant jam needs 60 minutes to ferment before moving on to the next step. The pectin has been fully broken down and the production continues. The juice is filtered through 288 membranes, then goes into the storage tank. After filtering, the juice is sterilized and sent to the evaporator. 80% of the water in the juice is evaporated, causing some of the aroma to dissipate. The factory collects the evaporated steam and condenses it into liquid form. A truck carrying concentrated blackcurrant juice can produce 200,000 bottles of beverages. After 8 hours of transportation, the concentrated juice is delivered to the factory and stored at 8 to 10 degrees Celsius for 12 months. The sugar solution is mixed and heated to 55 degrees to form a thick syrup. Then, sucralose powder, a calorie-free sweetener 650 times sweeter than regular sugar, is added. Finally, vitamin C powder is incorporated. The machine stirs the ingredients, and the juice is ready for bottling. Seaweed isn't just a plant, it reproduces hermaphroditically. Let's explore the process. Select mature seaweed with dark brown patches, cut the dark parts, and scrape off the slimy film and impurities. Wrap the seaweed in absorbent paper, store it cold for a while, then soak it in a culture solution. Stir occasionally to stimulate spore release. The sperm and eggs combine to form young seaweed plants. Workers place cotton threads in seawater with seedlings, grow them to 2 centimeters, then transfer to thick ropes and release into the sea. After 5 to 7 months, workers use a machine to pull the ropes onto the ship, cut the seaweed, and transport it to the port. The seaweed is cut into equal lengths, spread flat to dry, covered with a net to remove excess water. Then, it is divided into portions and packaged according to production requirements. This is the pinnacle of the candy world. Each candy has a smiley face, extremely cute and doubly sweet. The production process is eye-catching and stress-relieving. First, pour sugar into a pot, add natural pectin, and heat on high. As the temperature rises, the sugar turns into liquid syrup. Pour the syrup onto a metal sheet, add food coloring while it's still hot, and stir well. When the syrup cools, use scissors to cut it. The light yellow part forms the candy shape, the black part makes the eyes and mouth, and the transparent part becomes the outer layer. Then, knead it several times to remove excess air. The artisan assembles the pieces into a smiling face, cuts them into small sections, combines yellow and black for the eyes and mouth, adds syrup for the face, and wraps with a layer of transparent sugar. Pull the candy into a long strip, gently roll, cut into 50 centimeter pieces, and roll evenly. Next comes the most visually satisfying moment. The artisan quickly cuts to create small, cute, smiling candy. After sorting, the candies are packaged. In addition to the single color ones, the shop also makes colorful candies that are instantly cheerful to look at. In Fuzhou, China, there's a famous traditional noodle dish, Fuzhou stuffed noodles.
Fuzhou stuffed noodles are handmade with delicate, thin strands like hair. However, behind this delicacy is the tireless effort of artisans working day and night.
They place the dough on the table, flatten it with a rolling pin, and then spread it out. Due to the large dough mass, this step requires 2 people working together, applying even pressure. They roll the dough into a large, even piece, then use a small knife to cut it into long, uniform strands. The rough noodles are cut continuously, stretching without breaking. An artisan uses both hands to hold the rough noodle strands, slowly twisting the end in a counterclockwise direction, transforming the square noodles into round ones. The artisan shapes each round noodle piece to the desired diameter, then places them in a stainless steel bowl to rest and ferment. Continue shaping the noodles to the size of a pinky finger, then start the stretching process. Fix 2 stainless steel rods into wooden posts. Tie the noodle ends to the rods and hang the noodles on the rods. Swing your hands in a figure-8 motion, threading and pulling the noodle dough back and forth. After more than 50 repetitions, the noodles are complete and hung on a rack to rest. After 30 minutes, the worker uses a bamboo tool to stretch the noodles to about half a meter and then hangs them again to continue fermenting. After 2 hours, the noodles stretch to over 1 meter. The worker fixes one end to the rack and carefully pulls the other end to stretch it to 3 meters. The first round of stretching is completed, and the noodles are left to ferment for another hour. The second round of noodle stretching begins. The worker holds one end of the inox rod, pulls back, and swings the noodle. After several swings, the noodle becomes thin, elastic, and gently shines. From start to finish, it is a single strand, making fukchou noodles the thinnest and longest in China. Finally, the worker uses another inox rod to straighten the noodle and secure it at the base of the rack. The rack is then placed under a fan to dry. The hand-pulled fukchou noodles process, which lasts for 10 hours, is now complete. This traditional noodle-making technique has been listed as an intangible cultural heritage. Pork is ground with spices, mixed for 15 minutes to complete the sausage filling. Workers in stainless steel armor, wielding sharp knives, cut pork bones into pieces. Each takes just 10 seconds, and the entire line completes the deboning process in 1 minute. In a single day, they process up to 2,500 pieces of pork. Each piece can produce 100 pounds of sausage. Sharp points on the rollers pull the meat into the blades to remove the skin. Now the pork is ready to move to the next sausage-making stage. Today, they're making sausages with 99% pork. The filling is poured into a machine to be finely ground, removing any remaining cartilage or small bones. Collagen casing, made from cowhide, has better airtight properties than traditional pork intestines. This machine makes 600 sausages per minute. The casing is placed on a spinning tube. The filling is pressed in to form twisted sausages. Silicone cords seal the sausages into 12 centimeters lengths, which are then sent to the cutter with 3 blades spinning at 2000 RPM to cut and divide. This machine automates packaging, grouping 6 sausages at a time, with a speed of 1,800 sausages per minute, significantly boosting production efficiency.
After metal detection, the sausages are moved to the packing area. Workers here pack 175 boxes in for minutes, requiring each person to maintain speed and precision.